Hello, hockey fans. Austin here. Welcome back to another video. Now, the Stanley Cup Finals, they are right around the corner. Game 1 is coming up on Saturday, June 8th, between the Edmonton Oilers and the Florida Panthers. So, in order to help kind of get things set up and prepared, today's video is going to be all about the Florida Panthers. I'm going to be discussing a lot of their stats, who they played, how, their journey, their path to the Stanley Cup Finals. This is the second straight season that Florida has made it to the Cup Finals, and the second straight year that they're going to have to go up against a Pacific Division opponent. In the Edmonton Oilers last year, it was the Vegas Golden Knights. So if you like this content, if you like this type of content, if you want to see more playoff content from me, make sure you hit that like button. If you're not yet subscribed, make sure you hit subscribe as well. And yeah, let's just jump right into it, honestly. Now, so like I mentioned, we're going to look at the Florida Panthers and their path to the Stanley Cup Finals. How did they get here? Who did they play? And obviously, at first glance on the screen, it's going to look like a lot. There's a lot of numbers going on. Don't worry, things are going to get cleared up as I continue to progress through the video here. But, just to give you an idea of what's on the screen, if you need to pause it, you totally can, just to kind of get your bearings here. So on the the left side of the screen here, we have Sportlogiq stats. Ozone possession, slot shots, rush chances, expected goals, that sort of thing. Now we will have 3 sets of those Sportlogiq stats, each for the series that Florida played. Round 1, it was Tampa. Round 2 was Boston. Round 3, it was the New York Rangers. And then all of the stats in yellow that are right beside me, those are, some advanced metrics. Some of it is just regular, like good old-fashioned shots on goal, shots against kind of thing, and where Florida ranks in the entire postseason in these categories. Now, everything in yellow is pretty much from Natural Stat Trick or NHL.com, and like I mentioned, everything on the left of the screen, that's clearly powered by Sportlogiq. So let's jump into it. Round 1, the Florida Panthers, they ousted the Tampa Bay Lightning in 5 games. Ozone possession, Tampa Bay won the ozone possession time. However, Florida, they dominated in terms of slot shots. They had more rush chances. They had, almost 7 more expected goals than Tampa Bay did. And actual goals, they ended up finishing with 6 more. They outscored Tampa Bay 20-14. Like I said, they won the series 4-1, and they pretty much dominated. Now, in round 2, they played the Boston Bruins, and look at that ozone possession. Good God. Boston had 27-59 of ozone possession. Florida had 43-29 in that 6-game series. This series probably should not have gone 6 games, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. Jeremy Swayman's pretty much the only reason why this series went as long as it did. Slot shots, the Bruins managed to get 67 slot shots on the Panthers. However, Florida in 6 games managed 101 slot shots. That is unbelievable. That's almost 20 per game. That's just crazy to think about. Forecheck chances, Florida 23, Boston 10. Expected goals were 22.1 to 15.4 in favor of Florida, and the actual goals were 19-13. As I mentioned, Florida, they probably deserved a lot more goals, and that series probably should have been over in about 4 or 5 games. However, the Bruins and Jeremy Swayman in particular, he really tried to drag his team through, but Florida, they're just a whole other beast. The way they play, the way they forecheck, just look at the forecheck chances. Like, Florida is just, as the game progresses, it's almost like they get more energy and the teams that they're playing start to lose energy. Florida is physical, they are nasty, they are fast. The Florida Panthers are just relentless on the forecheck. So how they play in the Cup Finals, I'm very curious to see if Paul Maurice just lets them keep playing their game, if they're going to try and make any adjustments against the Oilers. Now, I will mention that the Oilers, preview between these two teams, that'll be in a different video. So tomorrow's video is going to be all about the Oilers. It'll be similar to this style. And then Friday will be a full series preview where I'll have both teams, how they stack up against each other, how they play, and then my, of course, prediction. This video is just about the Panthers, just about their stats, and just their journey to the Stanley Cup Finals. Now, their third opponent was the New York Rangers. Their offensive zone possession, they were ahead of the Rangers by about 8 minutes there. Slot shots, though, 95-59. Rush chances, 59-39. Expected goals, 17.4 to 13.3. And actual goals, 16-12. So the expected goals pretty close, but the slot shots and rush chances, I mean, again, like I mentioned, Florida just They are relentless. They push the pace. The Rangers, again, that's a series that probably should have been over in about 4 or 5 games max. But Shesterkin really held the Rangers in there. And Florida, they just weren't scoring as much as maybe you thought they would. They're going to go up against Stuart Skinner for the Oilers, who has really started to play better. He's really found his game. I thought he played well in every game against Dallas in that series, except for game 3. But even game 3, you couldn't really hang on his shoulders. But the Florida Panthers, they are just, they're such a good team. And looking at all of these stats, it really shows just how strong of a team Florida is. They're just so well-rounded. Now, the next thing we're going to look at is just some of the Florida players' stats. So, Matthew Tkachuk leads their team in points. He has 5 goals, 14 assists, 19 points. Barkov, he has 6 goals, 11 assists, 17 points. I imagine Barkov is going to be given the duty of trying to shut Connor McDavid down. So we'll see how it plays out. We'll see what the line matchups look like in game 1 here, but I would imagine they're going to have Barkov hard matched against Connor McDavid. You have Carter Verhaeghe, who's third on the team with 17 points, but he does have 9 goals. He does lead the Florida Panthers in that category. Sam Reinhart, who's been just mint on that power play for the Florida Panthers. He has 8 goals, 4 assists, 12 points. Lundell, he has 3 goals, 9 assists, 12 points. Sam Bennett has 6 goals. He's been very good for the Florida Panthers. He's been very good at throwing those sucker punches to the side of players' heads. I'm kidding, Panthers fans. It's fine. Relax. Sam Bennett, of course, I'm an Oilers fan, so I saw a lot of Bennett. I saw a lot of Tkachuk when they were on the Calgary Flames. So, yeah, Bennett, like I said, 6 goals, 4 assists, 10 points. Bennett's had a great playoffs. Rodrigue, 3 goals, 5 assists, 8 points. Tarasenko hasn't had the playoffs I think Florida Panthers fans thought they would. He's at 3 goals and 6 points. And then you have Luosterainen, 6 points, and Lorentz with 2 goals and 3 points. Now let's take a look at their defense core here. So Forsling's defensive game, sure, he's putting up some points here. He's at 11 points, 4 goals, 7 assists. But Gustav Forsling's play defensively, he has some of the best metrics in the entire league. His ability to break up the cycle, his ability to use his stick, he uses his body, and he's really good on transition. So Forsling, he truly has been their number 1 defenseman. 11 points, he has a plus 11 rating. Then you have Montour. He has 9 points, 3 goals. Ekblad, he has 0 goals, does have 5 points, and he's a plus 9. Ekblad and Forsling, like I mentioned, like that defense pair, that's their number 1 pair. That's the pair that I would imagine is going out against McDavid or Draisaitl pretty much at all times just to try and hold them at bay. Then you have Ekman Larson, 4 points. Mikkola, 3 points. And Kulikov, 0 points. Dmitry Kulikov, I believe, former Oiler there. So he's sitting at 0 goals, 0 assists, 0 points. He's a -1. But Kulikov, he's one of those defensive defensemen. He's not going to get involved on the score sheet very often. And then let's take a look at Sergei Bobrovsky. 12-5 record, 2.2 goals against average, a .908 save percentage. Sergei Bobrovsky, he's had a very good postseason. He's actually gotten better as the playoffs have gone on. In the series against Tampa, he was in the 800. He was like an 895 save percentage. The series against the Boston Bruins, he was like a 902 or 903. And then the series against the Rangers, he was up to like a 914 or 915 save percentage, something around there. I don't have those specific stats, but I do know Bobrovsky, he has been getting better as the playoffs have progressed. Florida did not give up very many goals against the New York Rangers. In fact, they don't give up many goals in general. They were one of the best defensive teams in the entire NHL throughout the regular season. So we'll see if they're able to kind of continue that play here. And then, of course, I will just talk about the numbers that are in yellow that are just right beside me. Right now in the postseason, the Florida Panthers, 58.68 expected goals for percentage, which ranks first in the entire NHL in the postseason. Scoring chances for, 58.29%, ranks first. Shots for percentage, 57.64%, again, ranks first. Corsi for, 56.22%, ranks second. High danger Corsi for, 56.45%, which ranks second. Their penalty kill, the only team that has a better penalty kill than the Oilers, the only team that has a better penalty kill than the Panthers, is the Edmonton Oilers. Florida's penalty kills at 88.2%, which ranks second. Florida averages 33.2 shots on goal per game. Again, ranks second. They only give up 24.5 shots against per game. That also ranks second. Florida, they are just ahead of the Oilers in the shots against per game department. The Oilers rank third throughout the postseason. Both teams are very good at shot suppression. So I will be curious to see who is able to break through a little bit more and generate more than just like 24, 25 shots on net. Team save percentage, Florida's ranks 5th, 90.63%, and Florida's power play ranks 6th at 23.3%. And 23.3%, there's nothing even wrong with that. That's still a strong power play. That's a little bit more than 1 out of every 5 opportunities that they're given. And I don't imagine that there's going to be a ton of power plays given out in that Stanley Cup final. However, the Oilers do have to make sure that they do stay disciplined. The Florida Panthers as well, they need to stay disciplined because we know how strong the Oilers power play is. But that's kind of my little breakdown of the Florida Panthers, their stats, who they played, what their journey to the Cup final has looked like. If you liked this type of video, if you want to go back throughout as well, pause it, take a look at some of the numbers if you want. I just didn't, I'm not going like crazy fully in depth. I'm not, going to put together a highlight compilation to show their style of forecheck or neutral zone. If you want someone that is really smart and you want that type of information, I highly recommend Hockey Psychology on YouTube. Definitely give them a watch, give them a subscription as well, because Hockey Psychology, one of the best channels out there. They do a great job not only providing detailed video analysis, but, they're a lot better than me at explaining play styles of how the teams and using visuals to kind of showcase that. So Hockey Psychology is your friend if you want a little bit more information on the Florida Panthers and their style of play. Today's video was more of just a numbers breakdown, and we're going to go from there. Tomorrow's video, I'm going to do something very similar with the Edmonton Oilers, and then Friday's video will be a full series preview against each other. I will have both teams, how they stacked up in the regular season, how they stack up head-to-head in the Cup final, and then who I think will come out on top. But until we get there, we'll just kind of relax and chill. If you like today's video, make sure you hit like. If you really liked it, make sure you hit subscribe. Florida fans, are you excited? Let me know in the comments section below all of your thoughts, and of course, tell someone that you love them tonight, all right? Appreciate it, everyone. You were truly the best. Your support has meant the world. We will see you soon. Take care.